Hello YouTube, my name's Tag, and welcome to Gyakuten Live. So, this is a pretty funny game I came across because it's basically a combination of two different fandoms that I kind of know of. So, this is a mixture, it's basically Ace Attorney, which is a game where you play as a lawyer and you have to basically play a detective as well. We have to solve crimes and stuff. But what's funny is this is also a combination of the anime called Love Live, which I know of, and that's basically about idols and stuff. So I find it weird to combine those two different things and put into one. And I like them both, so I want to see what this is about. So without further ado, let's just hop into it. It's like there's no way they kill people, right? There shouldn't be murder, right? Like no way, no way, no way. It's not gonna be any martyrs, right? No one's gonna die. Where am I? Okay. Ooh, I remember you. You're great. Knowing this, if this is like an Ace Attorney game, they usually start off with a tutorial. It's the 1st of March. Someone's birthday. Okay. It's gonna be a tutorial level. They're gonna teach us how to play the game. And it's not gonna be difficult because it's mainly gonna be someone's gonna say something, you gotta find a contradiction in their words. Maybe you might have to show them some evidence that contradicts to what they say. And this is all the Love Live characters. And I've only seen two of the series. I haven't watched it fully, but I do like it so. March 2nd. Defend in lobby. Okay, tutorial. Boy, am I nervous. This is our first case as school attorneys. If this doesn't go well, it could be our last. Hey, Yu-chan, over here. Oh? Good afternoon. Are you all ready for the trial? Huh? Of course I am. So, I'm guessing we play as you. Really? That didn't sound confident. You didn't skip out on starting courtroom proceedings, did you? No, it's just I have no clue if the stunt is going to be popular, that's all. I sure hope Shizuko-chan knows what she's doing. Anyway, you came to watch me, Ayumu? More than that, I'm here to support you. You know I'll always be at your side. Oh, are you sure? But aren't you the victim in this case? Well, yes, but... You believe in your client, don't you? You believe in her innocence. If you believe that your client is innocent, then I will too. Ayumu. Yeah, senpai! Speaking of your client, I think that's her over there. Oh, senpai, there you are. Oh, hey there, Kazumi-chan. Senpai believes in Kazumi's innocence, don't you? She would never do something like this. Okay, maybe she would. But it wasn't Kazumi this time. Don't worry, Kazumi-chan. Of course I believe you. I wouldn't have taken your case if I didn't. I do wonder though, what exactly happened if it wasn't Kazumi-chan? The crime did seem like something she would do. Kazumi thinks she was framed. Framed, huh? Now who would do such a thing? Guess that's something we'll have to find out. There you are. Hello. That sounded like... Oh, it's gonna be like my opponent. All ready for the trial, Senpai? Yeah, of course. Are you sure you studied all the courtroom proceedings, though, through and through? Absolutely. I love the fact that they're using Ace Attorney sound effects. Absolutely. Why does everybody think I'm some slacker? So, Shizuku-chan, you think this will work out? As in, you think people will want to see this type of thing? Of course, people love mysteries. I love mysteries. I'm sure this will be a hit. Even if it doesn't turn out to be popular, it can't hurt to try, right? You think? There are people out there who actually want to see an idol group do boring lawyer stuff? I can't imagine someone would seriously find fun in such a thing. Well, I just came by to visit. Good luck to you, and let's hope this trial makes for a good show. There she goes. Yu-chan, are you okay? You're shaking a little. I'm fine, it's just... Seeing my opponent face to face makes me a little nervous. I don't usually go on stage like you guys. I'm not used to performing, especially since lawyering is not something I've ever done before. Don't worry about it, Hugh-chan. Really, you should feel proud of yourself for even choosing to attempt this, whether you win or not. Remember, you can do it. That's not a funny pun. It's okay, senpai. You'll always be Kazumin senpai, even if you fail horribly and make yourself look like a total idiot. That's not helping. That's one way to put it. But they're right. There's no shame in giving this an honest shot. The only thing to do now is to just go all in. It's gonna be a tutorial. It's gonna be easy to solve. Okay, courtroom. Bang, bang, bang. Court will now begin for the trial of Nakasu Kazumi. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, I'm ready, Your Honor. Oh, are you sure about that defense? Like I said, yeah, I know. I don't sound ready. I've heard it before. Look, I'm just a little nervous, that's all. Don't forget to breathe. Your Honor, if I may, I propose we let the defense start this trial off. Good idea. Perhaps it'll help quell the defense's nerves. Or it could be a total disaster. Very well then. Defense, tell us who the victim in this case is. Okay, this is it. Come on, you know this one. The victim in this case is... It's Kazumi. It's Kazumi. The victim is Nakasu Kazumi. Oh wait, no, that's the culprit. The victim is Shizuku. It's Ayumu. The victim is Ayumu. Sorry, but that's incorrect. Huh, that's wrong. Yu-chan, Kazumi's the defendant. That means she's the one on trial. It also means you're representing and defending her in court. Shouldn't you know this? Right, I knew that. I'll ask again. Defense, tell us who the victim in this case is. Okay, this is it. Come on, you know this one. The victim in this case is... It's Ayumu. It's Ayumu. The victim, that would be Uehara Ayumu, Your Honor. Well, I'm gonna be such a good lawyer, guys. Don't worry, I got this. Very good. I'm glad you knew at least that much. I mean, I did say as much myself not 15 minutes ago. Sure. Next question. What is the crime that Kazumi is on trial for? Huh, the crime? Yu-chan, you didn't forget, did you? Of course not. I'm just having a moment of non-remembrance. Everything you need to know will be in the court record. If you forget anything, press tab to check your evidence. Okay then, let's give it a shot. The crime that Kazumi is on trial for today is... What is the trial for today? Time of crime, March 1st, about 25th p.m. The victim consumed bread laced with extremely spicy mustard. Suspect was apprehended at 4:10. Oh, well, that's a lot of information. Suspect is believed to have laced a loaf of bread with wagarashi mustard and planted it as a booby trap gift. Evidence found. Half-eaten bread consumed by the victim, passed with the remaining bags of bread confirmed to not have been laced. Suspect's diary. One twist tie found on the floor. Suspect was apprehended at 4:10 p.m. on the day of crime. So the bread was poisoned. Kind of. So it is sabotage of laced bread. According to the crime report, the victim consumed a loaf of bread laced with extremely spicy mustard. That's correct. Well done. Huh, this isn't so hard. Last question. Who is the detective on this case? Oh, what's with that question? That's too hard. Oh, you need my help again? Okay, look, if you press R in the court record, you can also check the profiles of everyone involved in the case. Alright then, I see. Just like Ace. Wow. Okay, there we go. Just like Ace Attorney. Is this a detective? Isn't she like always asleep? The detective of this case was assigned to it as she was near the scene of the crime shortly after it occurred. Yeah, but like, I suppose she's like half asleep half the time. Colonel Kanata. Alright then, the detective on this case is Colonel Kanata. It says here that Kanata sends the detective. So it would appear, it looks like you're ready to go. Man, I've got this. Well, since the defense is undeniably ready, I suppose it's time for the prosecution to present its opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. From what we know, the incident occurred at approximately 3:30 p.m. on March 1st, which was yesterday. For those of you who aren't aware, March 1st happens to be the victim's birthday. At the time of the incident, the victim found this basket of bread left in front of her locker as a birthday gift. Well, evidence, thanks. Added to the court record. Oh, double bread? Filled with cream, was it? Looks tasty. Looks like a piece of evidence just got added to the court record. I better remember to check it out. Okay. Naturally, the victim then unwrapped one of the loaves and bit into it. Fortunately for her, the loaf that she chose happened to be the only one that had been laced with an excessive amount of spicy mustard. Half-eaten loaf, the bread that a human would try to eat double-braided just like the other loaves, laced with an absurd amount of spicy mustard. Needless to say, the victim immediately went into a panic and started perspiring, ruining her makeup as well as the rest of her day. She's taking this really seriously. From the amount of mustard found in the loaf, we can conclude that the act of sabotage was most likely deliberate. The court agrees. This doesn't look good. The judge already agreeing with Shizuka-chan. Although the question remains, why would anyone make an enemy out of the victim? Would he not, Your Honor? Please take a look at this. Is that a diary? It appears to be some sort of journal. Correct. This is the defense diary retrieved from her locker. Well, I've got a bad feeling about this. There's an entry in this diary of utmost importance, of utmost interest to this case. According to the date on the entry, it was written at 12:05 p.m. on March 1st, shortly before the crime. The entry reads, "Ugh, I just saw Yumu Senpai for the first time today. She looks too cute, cuter than Kazumi." As expected, she sounds envious. She wrote that? Okay, at 12:05, Kazumi wrote that she was envious of Yumu's beauty after seeing her for the first time that day, presented as a possible motive. That's lovely. She noticed? I put extra effort into my makeup that day. Why would she write that? She's really hating herself here. I think it's clear to everyone in this court Kazumi being a known prankster did what Kazumi does best. The prosecution presents the following narrative. What occurred yesterday was a simple act of sabotage out of envy, a prank gone too far, if you will. Order, 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 order. Well, this case seems pretty open and shut. We have three things: an opportunity for the crime to be committed, a motive for the crime, and evidence. I would be too opposed to handing down the verdict right now. That's it? I didn't even get to do anything yet. Oh, hold it. Oh my god. I pulled the hold it. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for a guilty verdict. But wouldn't you say that would be too easy? Flips up an Edgeworth behavior. When did she get so arrogant? Looks like she's fully embraced the role of a prosecutor, as expected of Shizuka-chan. They are not arrogant prosecutors, you know. In the interest of making things more, well, interesting, the prosecution would like to present its first witness. Very well. The Edgeworth behavior. Great sleepy detective. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Kono Kanata. Kanata-chan is Haruka-chan's big sister. Oh, and Kanata-chan is also a member of the Nijigasaki School Idol Club and a member of the health committee. And detective of this case too, it looks like. Thank you. You did a good job with the investigation yesterday, especially given that you were called on short notice. We would like you to testify about exactly how you found the evidence and how you came to the conclusion that Kazumi was the perpetrator. Okay. Kanata-san's going to testify? Alright, Yuchan, make sure you listen closely. This is going to be important. It's going to be interrogation time. what was found. Kanata-chan began investigating the scene of the crime at 4:15 p.m. The basket of prey was right there, on the ground in front of the locker. Kazumi-chan's diary was later found in her locker, so we had a motive. The basket of prey had Kazumi-chan's name written on it, so we concluded that it could only have been her. I see, it all lines up with what was previously established. As expected, thank you for the testimony, witness. Now defense, cross-examine if you dare. Cross-examine? This is it, Yu-chan. This cross-examination is the defense's chance to attack. Defense, attack. Ah, right. How does that go again? Well, think of it this way. If Kanata's testimony stands, we're done for. Everything she said has incriminated Kazumi-chan. That means your goal is to point out contradictions in Kanata-san's testimony. Contradictions? People are flawed. Testimonies might not always be accurate, whether on purpose or by mistake. If Kazumi-chan truly is innocent, then the evidence should contradict the witness's testimony somehow. When you find a statement that contradicts a piece of evidence you have, open the court record and present that as evidence. Okay, I think I get it. You're really good at this, Ayumu. You should totally be a prosecutor or something someday. No thanks, I don't have the heart. Well, this is it then. My first cross-examination as a school attorney. Okay, let's get some evidence and point it out. What was found? Okay. I can press it. Kanata-chan began investigating the scene of the crime at 4:15. I have life points also, that's scary. Okay. The basket of prey was right there, on the ground in front of the locker. Kazumi-chan's diary was later found in the locker, so we had a motive. The basket of prey had Kazumi-chan's name written on it, so we concluded that it could only have been her. Okay, let's look at the evidence compared. We'll take a look at the bread. Where does the basket have a name? It's the bread, it's the diary. The basket doesn't have a name on it. So, I'm gonna press on that. Can I press it? I can press it, okay. Are you sure it couldn't have been anyone else? Does anyone else come to your mind? I guess not. I don't see any contradictions. Is that so? I see one already, Yu-chan. Seriously? Remember when you see a contradiction, press tab to open the court record. Then press E to present a piece of evidence on the offending statement. That's the way to go. Okay. I don't think the basket has a name on it, so I'm gonna present the basket. Okay, I'm gonna present the basket, because the basket doesn't have a name. Objection. Objection. Witness, can you explain something to me? Where exactly do you see the defendant's name on this basket? You don't see it? It's right here on the label. Where? Where's the label? Huh? It's not here. That's right, the basket is from an anonymous person. Anonymous? The defense is right. There's not a name to be found on this basket. Way to go, Yu-chan. Good eye. That's weird. Kanata-chan wonders how she missed that. Maybe you were reading it with your eyes closed. That's mean. Sorry, that came out wrong. So the meaning of this is... It means that the basket can be from any one of the thousands of students at the school. The prosecution's evidence is completely circumstantial. Wow, looks like you did study hard after all. Give me some credit here. Not bad, defense. You might be sharper than we thought. But that was an easy one, wasn't it? Low-hanging fruit. It was a cheap and small victory. Stop with the Edgeworth behavior. Come on, tell me 100 more ways to say the same thing. Unfortunately for you, cheap things don't hold up well. Clearly the witness was just speaking figuratively. The defendant's name might as well have been on the basket, is what she meant. I suppose that makes sense. Give me a break. She absolutely did not mean it like that. In any case, a discrepancy as small as this can easily be covered. Wouldn't you say so, witness? The prosecution will just leave it to you. Please testify again. And please, no metaphors this time. Okay, Kanai-chan will give you all a better reason. I guess that didn't really do much for our case. Don't give up yet, Yu-chan. Without every contradiction you point out, you get one step closer to the truth. You're making great progress, just hang in there. Closer to the truth, huh? Then I'll have to chip away at the prosecution's case little by little until it collapses. Yeah, now the time for this one. The locker we found with the basket at wasn't the one in the hallways, it was the one in the club room. Only members of the school idol club have access to the club room. Also, only the club members would know which locker belonged to whom. Combining that with the motive, and the only one who could have done this is Kazumi-chan. Okay, I'm guessing this one I have to press. It appears that the defendant is the only possible culprit after all. Indeed, there are only around a dozen students who have access to the club room due to the fingerprint sensor on the doorknob. Out of those few, only the defendant could have had both the opportunity and motive to commit this crime. Wouldn't you say so, defense? This isn't looking so good for us. Hey, did you see any contradiction in that? Well, to be honest, no. So are we screwed? There's still a chance, Yu-chan. We're not out of the game just yet. Maybe we can still turn this around if you press Kanata-san. Press her? What, like on her stomach? You think we can squeeze the truth out of her that way? No, I mean ask her questions about her testimony, pressure her. It's entirely possible for her to say something we didn't know before. That could be our ticket out of this bench. Defense, would you like to still cross-examine the witness? Of course. Alright, I better give this a shot. Otherwise our chances of winning will be even more shot. Okay, time to press. The locker we found the basket at wasn't the one in the hallways, it was the one in the club. Oh, okay. Only the school club have access to the club room. Also, members who would know which locker belonged to whom, combine them with the motive, and the owner of prayers done this club. Okay. I'm gonna press on this one. I wanna see if she's gonna give evidence on how they can access the place. Clarify, that's because of the fingerprint sensors on the door handles that were recently installed, correct? That's right. The door has a sensor detector is jammed or being held open for too long, in which case an alarm will go off, meaning that the possibility of someone sneaking in is slim to none. I suppose somebody from the club will open the door to let someone else in. I suppose that's possible, but also only club members would know which locker belonged to whom. Okay. Wait, what about this one? Hold it. Because someone's a member, that doesn't mean they would know which locker was whose. Yeah, like I say, like, oh, his name for the locker, obviously. I think the inverse is more likely that someone who's not in the club would somehow know each locker's owner. I guess not. The lockers were only added to the club recently. Currently, they aren't labeled with anything besides a number. Those two facts together suggest that only someone who frequents the club could have seen which locker was whose. Come on, there's gotta be something I can use in here. The motive and that. Okay, so well, let's push everything, I guess. Wait a minute. Don't you think that's kind of a leap in logic? Everything about the line of reasoning is based on assumptions. There's no definitive proof that my client is the one responsible for the crime. Access records. Access records? Yes, access records. The fingerprint sensor on the crowd room does more than just control who enters. It also keeps track. What? Cool, more evidence. I see. I would like to draw your attention to this area here. Okay, so that's coming again. Oh, this Kazumi between the time. Oh man. The victim had entered the club room on two separate occasions, once at 12:05 p.m. and once at 3:30 p.m. Recall that the incident had occurred at 3:30 p.m. Unfortunately, the victim happens to be here in this courtroom right now. Tell us, did you see the basket at your locker the first time you entered the club room? Ayumu, did you? Well, no. Order, order. Order, order. Let it be known that the defense approved of that testimony. So in other words, the only time the basket could have been left at the scene of the crime was between the first time the victim entered and the second time the victim entered. As you can see, the only person who entered the room between those two times was Kazumi-chan. Okay, but what's stopping someone from doing it that entered before and didn't leave? Sure, there might have been someone else in there. As you can see, the only person who entered the room between those two times was Kazumi-chan. Like, what's stopping someone from having been in the room at that time and then the thing there. That seems to be the case. Witness, please add this to your testimony. Sure thing. Sorry, Yu-chan. I think I just blew our chances. No, don't worry. It's not your fault. Get more evidence. Records of everyone who entered the club room on the day of the crime. The system was shut off at 4:50 p.m. on the same day. They got us good. Is this it? Is it all over for us? The access records also show that Kazumi-chan was the only one who entered the club room between the two times Ayumu-chan entered, so it must have been her. Can I press on this? Can I understand you yourself on this access record twice? Yeah, the 4:15 one is when Kanata-chan arrived to investigate the scene. There also would have been a 4:51, but then we shut off the system at 4:30 to prevent making those longer than necessary for evidence's sake. What about the 11:51? The 11:51, Kanata-chan went in there to take a nap. Emi-chan was long gone by the time Kanata-chan got there, and just as previously said, the basket wasn't there at the time. The prosecution has pulled us the wrong case. It really does look like anyone else could have been. It really doesn't look like anyone else could have been in the crime, behind the crime besides the defendant. Is there really nobody else who could have done it? I feel like I mean, I kind of have to believe there is. So, okay, Emma was there, it's like 2 hours. I don't doubt it's Emma. Kano was here twice, Ayumu was here twice, Kazuma between the times. Kind of dumb. We kind of wish they had like a, if someone comes in and also when someone leaves, they keep track of it. I'm sure there is someone. Actually, there is someone. Oh, who might that be? I'll show you. There's another person who could have committed the crime. Can I do profiles? That's me. That's me. That's me. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm losing health if I get this wrong. Can I point out the other person that came in? Here it is. Well, prosecution, what do you think? I don't know think about what the defense meant with that at all. That was wrong. Fortunately for you, it didn't make any sense. I suppose it couldn't have been someone other than the defendant after all. Is there anybody else that could have done it? Okay, fine. I'm gonna wait. I can't point out people except the detective. It's no use. I better survey my options again before doing anything too hasty. The demons are a lot stronger than the last one. Not only that, Ashizako-chan is starting to get aggressive. Still, we can't stop here. Remember to press the witness for more information by hitting Q. Looks like an opportunity has opened up. We'll just have to hope it's enough to work with. Okay, so another thing that could happen is I could press on something she said before, and then it's like, oh, but you just added this, which means it's a contradiction. So after we found the box, okay, I want to press on this thing. I didn't press on this before. Exactly what difference does that make? Oh, great. You're the leader of the club. You don't know? Objection sustained. Hold your horses now. Kanata-chan was just getting to that part. I guess I've got to get more used to this pressing thing. No penalty though. That's good. No penalty when you press. Okay, let's just push on everything. Seriously, information on. To clarify, let's put the finger resistance at the door. Maybe I read that already. Okay, great. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Okay. Any new information? Okay, we've done this part already as well. Probably not. I'll use a special case because it was requested. No way. I never even knew about it until now. I demand to know who it was that requested the system. You did? You did? You did. Oh, you did? Huh, I did? Oh, I did? You don't remember? A couple of weeks ago, some stuff went missing from a club room due to a couple of fans taking souvenirs. You were upset about it and requested an access record system from the student council, and they had set up over the weekend. Did I actually do that? You were working late that night for the club and submitted the request while you were only about 10% awake. You're such a hard worker, you try. That doesn't help. In any case, the access record system is department approved and has been in place for some time, if that's what you were wondering. I guess I won't be getting anywhere with this line of questioning then. Okay, there's achievements? Okay. I don't want to enter the club room between the two times. It must have been great. Okay, so I'm gonna have to blame someone. Okay, so I have to press on something. Okay, well, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to press on the last one. Okay, let's just point the finger at someone. Yes, and you yourself there, twice. Time to blame someone. Okay. Okay, so we have she didn't access, she accessed. You were the only one that accessed the place, so I'm going to point the finger at you. So, witness, you said Emerson was gone by the time you arrived, so she had nothing to do with the crime, correct? That's correct. I see. What about you? Huh? The nitrogen? The fingerprint says it tracks people enter, but says nothing about who leaves. I assume it only works from the outside, so people don't get locked inside with fills. How do we know that you didn't put the basket there after Yumu-chan left the first time? Uh, wait, this is wrong, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, witness, we must consider all possibilities. See, point the fingers. Suppose you brought the basket in when you first entered and hid it somewhere in the club room until the defender came and left. Wouldn't it be possible for you to place the basket then? It'd be easy to frame my client for that crime. No, can I trust the detective? If you were still in the room after the victim left the first time, then anything could have happened. As previously established, the victim happens to be in the courtroom. How fortunate. Well, Kate, ask her again. Were you still in the room when Ayumu left? Well, the defense has a fair point. We cannot rule out this possibility. I did it. I've got her. But I couldn't, John. For a second there, I was worried that our goose was cooked. Although, if Kana-san is the culprit, I wonder why she would ever do such a thing. Only one way to find out. Prosecution, is there anything you would like to say in response? No. No? Dangerous behavior. Correct. Nothing needs to be said. The defense's argument is, how should I put it? Baseless. Stop it with the dangerous behavior. I hate it. Baseless accusation. She saw this coming. The prosecution's trust in the witness. Just tell them what happened and you'll be fine. Okay. Figures Shizuku-chan wouldn't be so clumsy as to incriminate her own witness with that access record evidence. Looks like it's not over yet. I've got to keep the pressure on. Okay, what Kanashan was doing. The access record was still nigh. The only one who could have left the basket was Kazumi-chan. To be honest, Kanada-chan was asleep until 2:10 p.m. But it wasn't Kanada-chan because there was no way to hide the basket. It wouldn't even fit in a locker. At 2:10 p.m. when Kanada-chan woke up, she left the room immediately. Kanada-chan was asleep the whole time. She didn't do anything between 11:50 and 2:10 p.m. Okay, time for more contradictions. Everything seems to be in line with what we know, both about the evidence and about the individuals involved. As expected. Just to check, was Kanada-san really asleep in the room when we entered Ayumu? Well, yes actually. She's telling the truth about that at least. So we'll have to take her word for that then. Defense, your cross-examination if you would. Okay. Back to more pressing. What can I show you? The access record is denied, but no one could have read the boss was Captain Chan. Okay. John Chan was asleep till 2:10 p.m. Okay, let me just look at the. I'm gonna look at the times. I'm gonna look at the. Okay, 2:10. So that's just after Kazumi came in. Interesting. but it wasn't gonna jump because there was no way to hide the basket. It wouldn't even fit in a locker. At 2:10 p.m., when Kanachan woke up, she left the room immediately. Kanachan was asleep the whole time. She didn't do anything between 11:50 and 2:10 p.m. Okay, so that's when she came in. And that's when she left also with Kazumi came in. Let's push her on. Let's press on this actually. No way to hide the basket? The cupboard is relatively open. There isn't any way to easily conceal a basket as big as the one involved. Leaving it out in the open is also out of the question, as the witness would have no reason to leave such a gift unattended while she naps. But the basket wouldn't fit in the locker. Did you test that? One of the first things Kanashan tried upon arriving at the scene was to see if the basket could fit in the locker. Turns out it can't. It's a little too wide. Unless the loads of bread are taken out, then it could be squished in a little. But suppose you had the loads of bread in the locker and the basket elsewhere. Kanashan had a custodian open everyone's lockers. They were all too full to put the loads in them, including Kazumi-chan's. That's when we found Kazumi-chan's diary in the locker. What did you just say? Kazumi-chan's diary came from the clubroom locker? That's first time watching 12:05. I feel like the diary is something important. 12:05. The whole time, I thought Kazumi-chan's diary came from the hallway lockers, but it looked like she actually wrote the entry in the clubroom. It turns out that she was actually in the clubroom 12:05, and this could be important. Kazumi saw a human for the first time on March 1st at 12:05 p.m. Presented as a possible alternative to She saw her at 12:05. That doesn't make sense. If you saw her at 12:05, that would have meant she was in the clubroom too. And then she came in again, twice, in the 2 hour span. Yeah, she left at 12:05. So she was in the clubroom the same time as. Okay, I'm gonna have to present some things soon. I'm doing something wrong. I need to present. I'm pretty sure I need to present something. I don't know what to present. Usually, you can press all the information I can get. Let's see. What else was in the room? Was the boss at the locker this time? Kanadran doesn't remember. She must not have been paying attention. Well, isn't that awfully convenient? How do we know you're not just saying that as a cover? Please, defense, unless you have something to suggest that the basket was indeed at the locker, let's not jump to conclusions. She's right. I'll have to be able to prove that, but I don't think I can. Maybe I should look for something else. This whole time she didn't do anything. I could be so sure that you could have woken up in the huge gaps between people entering and nobody would have known. The witnesses already clearly established that there was no way to hide a basket in the room. I'm suggesting she materialized the basket out of thin air without leaving the room and dropped it off between 2 and 3:30. Well, no. I guess this line of questioning won't do us any good. I've never seen Kanana-chan sound so panicked before. I feel a little bad for her. Do you think she did it? I don't know, but we have to find something that incriminates her in the testimony, or we're done for. Not necessarily. Maybe something else that's out of place. You never know. For example, Kanasa is claiming that the access records are infallible. But if you can show that they aren't perfect, turning your thinking on its head, you never know where a contradiction might pop up. Whatever the case, remember that you can press for more information. Okay, so I think I'm gonna press on the access records. And I think I'm gonna press on when she said this one. I pressed the wrong button. Oops. Let's skip all of this. Because logically, she herself said that she wasn't awake this time, so she wouldn't have known that what you would call it. Oh, great, I feel this is wrong. Nothing more? Okay. Your Honor, this evidence contradicts the witness's statement. Really? How so? I have no idea. A little help? Do I have to show the diary? I think I have to show the diary. Sorry, I'm not your teacher. The only help I can give you is this penalty. I just missed the mark on that. Is it the diary? It's probably the diary. It's the diary, isn't it? Nope, it's not. Oh my god, I'm fumbling. I'm fumbling. Okay, I'm gonna press on. Press on the stuff at the start. I didn't press on everything. I'm gonna press on the last two things and I'll decide off that. Are you sure? Could the records have been tampered with? That's extremely unlikely. The access records are easily obtainable, but the information itself is impossible to modify. In addition, the prospect that the sensor was somehow tampered with is next to impossible, since it would mean that everyone would be locked out. Something the matter, Yumu? It's faint, but I think I remember a very short period of time you said Kazumi-chan and I were both in the club room. That's when she wrote diary entry. Really? But the spaces between you entering the club room and Kazumi-chan entering the room was anywhere from an hour and a half to almost 2 hours. Forcing conjecture like that wouldn't get us anywhere, unless we substantiated. Just to be honest, Kazumi-chan was asleep until 2:10 p.m. Okay. So, is this where I present the diary? Because the diary, if she was there in the time. There we go. Okay. Witness, I need to take a look at this evidence. Kazumi-chan's diary? Correct. I think you were telling me that you found it in the clubroom locker because this opens up a critical contradiction. It does? That's right. It contradicts another piece of evidence. Really? In that case, show me the evidence that contradicts Kazumi's diary. It's the access records. Please. I am a detective. I'm a lawyer. I would like you all to take a look at the access records. The access records? According to the access records, the only time the defendant entered the clubroom was at 2 p.m. How then? Is there an entry on this diary from 12:05 p.m. on that day? Ridiculous. The defendant simply wrote the entry at 12:05 outside the clubroom and brought it in at 2 p.m. and placed it in the locker. And I don't suppose you have any proof of that, do you, prosecution? It's simple, really. I don't get how you're not seeing this. If the defendant were in the room at 12:05 p.m., she would have been in the room with the victim. Well, Ayumu-san, Kazumi-san wasn't in the clubroom with you at 12:05, was she? Actually, she was. Huh? What? Let it be known that the prosecution approved of that testimony. No way, maybe I overdid the whole cocky prosecutor thing. Unbelievable. So the reality of the situation is, the access records are not definitive proof. It looks like Ayumu and the defendant entered the clubroom simultaneously at 12:05 p.m. This opens up the possibility that anyone in the clubroom could have entered the room at any point, assuming they entered with someone else's leaves. As a result, the defense attests that there is not enough evidence to convict the defendant. The court determined that there is not enough information for a proper ruling yet. There are too many questions left unanswered to cause suspicion on either defendant or the witness. Phew, Kanashan is off the hook. In light of these revelations, court will be adjourned for the day. Both the defense and the prosecution are to search for more evidence for their respective cases. Well done, Yu-chan. You did it. You managed to hold out for the day. I don't think we're gonna have time to hold out. I feel like we're gonna wrap up this case now. Let's not get hasty. When I said that the prosecution was ready, I mean that the prosecution was ready. Prosecution would like to present its second witness. Second witness? Your Honor, the witness can be prepared in 15 minutes. That's just lovely. Very well. Court will take a 15-minute recess so the witness can be prepared. That is all. Court adjourned. That's just lovely. Defendant lobby. Phew. That was tough. But it looks like I managed to pull through to some extent. Well done, Yu-chan. It looks like you really have a shot at winning this. You think so, Ayumu? Shizuka-chan's got another witness coming up, and it could go either way. She waited until now to call in the next witness. so they might be more detrimental to a case than Kanata-san was. But we never know what to expect in this type of situation. Maybe what the next witness saw will completely break our case. We won't know until we try taking it head on, I guess. Senpai, you were so cool in there. For that, Senpai gets the biggest, cutest Kazumi ring. Here it comes. Catch. Hold on now, Kazumi-chan. This isn't over yet. Shizuka-chan's calling another witness that we have to tackle. Did Senpai see how Did Senpai see how mean Shizuku got in there? Why is she trying to so hard to get Kazumi in trouble? Senpai, do you think Shizuko hates Kazumi now? No, absolutely not. It's the prosecutor's duty to attack the defense's case. She's not doing this out of any malice. Say, who do you think is the next witness, Yu-chan? If it's someone like Emma-san, we might be in trouble. Who knows? We're just going to have to go in with high spirits and hope for the best. Don't worry, Kazumi-chan. I'll pull the truth out of the situation by the end of the day. I don't believe that. Hey, I completed it. Part 1 of it. Yippee. Let's save the game. No, that's good. Let's save the game. Save. Wow, that was... that took a bit longer than I thought for tutorial. I think I'm gonna end it off here. And I'll continue on in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it's been interesting. I can't wait to see what else is going to bring in terms of lawyer stuff and his attorney style things. I will continue this in the next video. Goodbye.